Ancient humans versus us. Who had the more dangerous life?
When you wake up tomorrow, imagine no doctor, no police, no grocery store, and a 600-pound cat that thinks of you as a snack. That was an ordinary Tuesday for your ancient ancestors. But the irony is that modern life is also attempting to kill you, but in slower, sneakier ways. Today, we're going to settle it once and for all. Who had it worst, they or us? Let me paint the picture. Imagine a prehistoric human. Let's call him Grok. Grok awakens in a cavern. No alarm clock, which is great until you find out the reason he woke up was because something was breathing next to his feet. Grok's whole life was a survival game on the toughest difficulty, and there was no save point. The first and most evident risk? Predators. I mean, cave lions, saber-toothed cats, enormous hyenas, and bears the size of small vehicles. For Grok, urinating outside at night was practically signing up for a horror movie where he was decidedly not the star. And he couldn't merely phone for aid. There was no emergency number. The emergency number was run faster than your friend. But this is where it gets interesting. The greatest threat wasn't even predators. What was the real silent murderer back then? Something small. Infection. Grok slashes his foot on a sharp rock. To us, that's a band-aid and a whine. To Grok, that minor cut may develop into a lethal infection in a matter of days, because antibiotics wouldn't be invented for another 40,000 years or so. A scratch might kill you. A rotten tooth might kill you. Giving birth was terrifyingly hazardous. Actually, ancient humans were dying from problems we treat with a $5 container of cream now. And it gets more crazy. Food was a daily gamble. No expiration date sticker was on the bag, notifying Grok when the mammoth flesh had gone bad. He only had to consume it and see. Some berries for dinner. Other fruit led to the afterworld in one direction only. With his life in the shadows, each meal was a toss of a coin. Ancient life's looking rather hard thus far, isn't it? But before you get too smug in your cushy chair, let me ask you something. Of all we've spoken about, predators, illnesses, mysterious fruit, which do you believe was the deadliest to the earliest humans? Put your guess in the comments. I actually like to see what you all think, and the answer may surprise you in the end. Now come up to date. We're safe, surely, no? We have hospitals, helmets, food already vetted for toxicity. And certainly life is considerably safer today in a lot of ways. People today can expect to live more than twice as long as people in ancient times. You aren't going to be eaten by a saber-toothed cat on your way to work. Most probably. But this is when it gets strange. Modern life offered a whole new menu of perils that Grok never had to think about. Take cars. Grok's fastest threat could maybe run 40 miles an hour for a few seconds. We strap ourselves into metal boxes and hurl ourselves down highways at 70 miles an hour, with thousands of other people doing just the same thing, some of them texting. Grok would look at our morning commute and pass out. And then there is tension. Grok's tension was easy and brief. Lion appears, heart pounds, Grok runs. Lion gives up. Stress over. Stressed? It just doesn't end. Deadlines, bills, emails, notifications blasting at 2 a.m. Our bodies still carry Grok's primitive alarm system, meant for fast bursts of peril. Yet we keep it on all day, every day, for years. And that stress that quietly burns away slowly harms our hearts in a way no cave lion ever could. Oh, and if you're enjoying this little time travel showdown, do me a quick favor and slam that like button. Really helps more interested people stumble into this. All right, back to the mayhem. Here's another modern peril Grok never faced. Sitting. Yes, sitting. We now spend the bulk of our lives parked in chairs, and scientists constantly discovering that remaining stationary for hours on end is astonishingly harmful for us. Grok walked, ran, climbed, and searched all day, mostly by mistake. He had a six-pack he never even asked for. In the meantime, we have to pay to walk on a machine that takes us nowhere, in a building after we have driven there.
And that's not even the crazy part.
The one item we were told was safer, the food has its own slow poison. Grok had a hard time finding enough to eat, and it kept him thin. We have the opposite problem. Too much food, too easy, too sugary. Heart disease, diabetes, and other lifestyle disorders were almost non-existent in ancient times. They're some of the biggest killers on the earth today. We very much solved the problem of starvation, and then inadvertently created a new menace of donuts. So let's give this a score. Life in the ancient world was quick, cruel, short, and brutally dangerous. If you survived youth, predators, diseases, and the odd toxic morsel, you were doing fairly well, but the odds were stacked strongly against you. Dramatically modern living is safe. Quietly modern existence is harmful. We die from a lion almost seldom. We just wear our bodies down with worry, sweets, and sitting. Slowly. So, who was having a rough time? Grok died noisily and rapidly. We take it slow and gently. He may be dead in one awful instant. Think of us more like a cell phone battery that loses a little charge every year. Perhaps the truthful response is that ancient humans were more prone to dying young and violently. But the threats we face today are the kind we can actually do something about. Grok couldn't outthink a saber-toothed cat. But you? Take a walk, eat a veggie, and put your phone away before bed. 3 things that would sure confuse a caveman. So, next time you're having a bad day, just remember, at least nothing is attempting to devour you. Maybe. If this kind of, wait, that's actually true, thing scratches an itch in your head, you're in the correct spot. There's a whole load of these waiting for you on the channel, so go roam around, be curious, and keep your inner caveman impressed.